There's a question that was addressed specifically to you here, Mr. Rossi. How would you justify entering the race so late when there's a strong Conservative candidate rapidly moving up in the polls?
Mm-hmm. Well, like I said, it wasn't something that was on our radar 8 to 10 months ago. And it was also clear that we can win this race. It's also clear that we have so much at stake. It was just, you know, in the media today they called this the 51st seat, the 10th vote, the 51st seat. Talking about the majority in the Senate, and so for the reasons I've already stated, you know, the idea that we're going to be leaving something to our children and grandchildren that's less than what we were given, that's what ended up getting me in this race. I believe that we will win this. I would love to have your support. If you're supporting another candidate, that's fine. I know the other candidates are good people. If we happen to prevail in the primary, I'd love to have your support in the general election. Because this is not about me, it's not about the other candidates. This is about removing Patty Murray from the U.S. Senate seat.
I have a question from the floor here from Mark Enga. What is a higher priority in your opinion and plan, or both, A, financial problems, or B, the Patriot Act?
Well, the financial problems obviously are a serious problem. When I was a state senator, I had a one-vote Republican majority in the Senate, and the Democrats controlled the House, Democrat in the governor's mansion, and I was chairman of the Budget Writing Ways and Means Committee. And we had one of the biggest deficits in state history at that point in time. The skills I brought to it, because everything over $50,000 had to come past my gavel, I ended up balancing the deficit without raising taxes. It was really the first time in our life that we had a major deficit that did not result in a tax increase, and still protected the vulnerable. I ended up receiving the first annual Defender of Liberty Award from the Evergreen Freedom Foundation for being the architect of the most fiscally conservative budget ever written in this state. But I'm also proud of the fact I received 6 different awards from the developmentally disabled community for doing what I said I would do, proving that you can be fiscally conservative and still have a social conscience. Those things are not mutually exclusive. And so, obviously, my skills lend themselves to budgetary issues. Patriot Act, we've got to be very concerned about our civil liberties. And the idea that, that this is something that you can reach into people's lives if you disagree with them, maybe politically. I mean, this is a problem. This is a very serious problem, which is why it needs to be reviewed constantly to decide if this actually makes sense.
Well, you're keeping it simple, and so we're going to get some more questions than we're actually able to get to Rossi, I think. We're not through yet. We have a question that was posed earlier from Mark Enga. What is a higher priority in your opinion and plan, or if both are, financial problems or the Patriot Act?
The Patriot Act was put into place because of all the terrorist activity and the messaging that was going across. But today, with the people that are in office today, I tend to worry. And I think the Patriot Act is an intrusion on our liberty. It's coming back to us. Now, the Patriot Act, after you read the Patriot Act, you realize how intrusive this is. And it's wrong. It's never been put in place. Our highest priority is jobs. We have, that's why I had the union from the West Side call me. They want me to come speak to them. A 1,500-member union. And I said, wait a minute. I'm a Republican. And he goes, yeah, I know. He goes, but we still want you. And I said, then what do I owe this honor? And he says, well, to be honest with you, he says, we've got a lot of time on our hands. We're unemployed. And I bit my tongue because I wanted to say, well, how you liking that hope and change now? But we can't be that way. We can't be that way because we have got to all come together and realize we can't all have that mountain of gold. We got to be happy with where we're at. And we got to realize one thing. If that employer don't stay in business, we don't have a job. So we got to be for all and all for one.
Thank you.